best method to approach the Shikshastakam? What is the real desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he gave us these 8 verses? Mahaprabhu, he was the greatest scholar in India at the time. He could have written many volumes of unparalleled literature. However, he only gave us these 8 verses of his own direct writing. He gave many different instructions on different occasions, but what he gave us himself directly is these 8 verses. So why are they so important, and how can we approach and understand them? So we talked about this, the Swakiya and Parakiya difference, and how in Mahaprabhu's line there's emphasis on Parakiya, which means that in the Parakiya line everyone has a chance to have a connection to Sri Krishna, whereas in the Swakiya line Krishna is married to Rukmini, Ram is with Sita. There's no chance for having another relationship with Krishna in Madhurya, in that mood of love like the gopis. Sita is with Ram, Lakshmi is with Narayan, Rukmini is with Krishna. Then how can we have relationship with Krishna like that? Now, Parakya doesn't mean that we want also a direct relationship with Krishna, because Parakya means indirect. But what Parakya means is that when we enter the service and guidance of Srimati Radhika, then through her connection, then we can have some relation and connection to Sri Krishna. This is Parakya. And this kind of Parakya mood, that is the special gift Mahaprabhu came to give. Not just the Parakya mood, but specifically the mood of serving Srimati Radhika and being under her guidance. That's why if we look at the verses which reveal the reason for Mahaprabhu's descent, especially the verse by Rupa Goswami, Anarpita Acharim Chirat Karunaya Vatirna Kalau Samarpayitum Unata Ujvala Rasam Svabhakti Shriyam. What is that Svabhakti Shriyam? That means the beauty of his own service in the mellow of Madhurya, conjugal love. And as received from Srimati Radhika and under the guidance of Srimati Radhika, that is why it is said, Unata Ujvala Rasam. This Unata Ujvala Rasa is synonymous with Parakya Rasa. That is also synonymous with Adi Rasa, the original mellow of love. Shringar Rasa, the original mellow or the highest mellow of love in Madhurya Bhakti, under the service of Srimati Radhika, in the Tat Tat Bhav Ichamai, in the Ujvala Nilamani it's described. Tat Tat Bhav Ichamai means when we are serving Srimati Radhika, then when we become intimately connected to her, then all her moods of love and service and relationship with Krishna will reflect in the hearts of her maidservants. So that is Tat Tat Bhav Ichamai. At that time, the Manjaris have no desire for separately meeting with Krishna. They are completely satisfied by their relationship with Shri Radha, and through their relationship with Shri Radha, then they also have experience of loving relationship with Shri Krishna. The example is given of the bumblebee sitting on a flower and drinking its nectar, and then the bud will also quiver and shake, meaning it is also experiencing the bliss of meeting. So when one is connected as a Palyadasi of Srimati Radhika, then one also receives the bliss of the relationship with Shri Krishna that Radhika experiences. Now, different sampradayas, they worship Vishnu, they worship Narayan. Also other religions, they worship God, the Supreme Potent. But what Mahaprabhu taught is that we should not neglect the other half of reality, which is the feminine counterpart of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Srimati Radhika. If we're only worshipping the male side of God, the God, without connection to the goddess, then we're going to remain stunted in our spiritual growth. Our Gurudev would say that if you're only worshipping Krishna himself, God himself, who is Parabrahman, then you will also develop a mood like that. You won't develop softness, sweetness, and a mood of bhakti. You'll become a Brahmavadi, a Mayavadi, if you don't take shelter of and worship Srimati Radhika. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Pujaya Madhava, Kevala Madhava Pujaya so agyani Radha anadara koro so abhimani. Those who only worship Madhava, they're very proud, abhimani. They're very proud and full of false ego. They don't take shelter of Srimati Radhika. It's like atapa rohita surai, that it's like trying to see the sun without taking shelter of the rays of the sun. So all these other sampradayas, the results they can give, especially in this Kali Yuga, is limited. Dasya ras, Sakya ras, maybe Vatsalya ras to a small extent, but you cannot enter Madhurya ras through these lines. And therefore, without that Adi ras, Madhurya ras, how are you going to achieve your full spiritual potential? If you are desiring to enter that mood, then you have to take shelter of Srimati Radhika. If we look at the next verses describing the reasons for the descent of Mahaprabhu, then it becomes even more clear. Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidriso Vanayeva. It's all about Krishna realizing the glory of Srimati Radhika, realizing the sweetness of her love, the sweetness of her bhakti. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Ladini Shakti Rasmad. That Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but with the mood and the complexion of Srimati Radhika, non-different from Srimati Radhika. So if we don't take shelter of Srimati Radhika, how are we going to progress in bhakti? That's why in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, we are followers of Gaudi Srimati Radhika. So most people say Gaudiya means from Gauda Desh, from Bengal. But the Vaishnavas say that this has a more deep meaning. Gaudi means Srimati Radhika. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi. Mahaprabhu's, one of his names is Gauranga. His limbs are golden. Anga is limbs, and Gaur means golden. But why are his limbs Gauranga? Only because Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi. He received the mood and the complexion of Srimati Radhika. She blessed him with that so that he could come and experience love from the perspective of the devotee of God, the beloved of God. Because that kind of love and happiness one experiences as the devotee is millions of times greater. If one is just trying to worship God and become God, be worshipped by others, then the happiness you can get from that is very limited. But if you are the beloved of God, then the happiness you receive is unlimited. So Krishna himself, he wanted to come as the devotee, and he prayed to Srimati Radhika, please give me your mood, because you are the topmost of all the devotees. By receiving your mood, not only the topmost of the devotees, she is Swarup Shakti, the supreme potency herself, the divine potency herself. So he prayed, without your mercy, without your shelter, without your grace, I will not be able to understand and practice this bhakti yoga. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself took on the Anga Kanti of Srimati Radhika, the mood and the complexion of Srimati Radhika, and then he became Gauranga, the Golden Lord. And then his line became known as the Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Gaudiya means the followers of Gaudi Srimati Radhika. This becomes further clear if you look at the famous verse from the Kali Santaran Upanishad, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva Nasteva Gatiranyata. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way other than following and chanting Sri Harinam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam. It doesn't directly say Harinam, it says Harer. Who is Hare? We know Harang Harati Prasanna Manaha. She who steals the heart and mind of Sri Hari, that is Srimati Radhika, she is Hare. So when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This Hare is Srimati Radhika, the potency of the Lord who steals the heart of the Lord himself. So if we don't take shelter of her, if we don't worship through her, then how are we going to progress in the path of bhakti? Some people say, okay, you should not chant Radhika's names, you should not worship and take shelter of Srimati Radhika. But this is like Ardha Kukuti Nyaya, half-hen logic. We want to accept Krishna, but without his beloved Srimati Radhika, then how are we going to progress in bhakti? It's not possible. So we take shelter of Srimati Radhika. Then we can really progress. Then we can understand who is Hare. Without first taking shelter of Hare, then how will we approach Krishna? First in the Mahamantra comes Hare, Srimati Radhika, then comes Krishna. So first we have to take shelter of Srimati Radhika, then we can understand who is Sri Krishna. We're going to start Vedanta classes. The first sutra, Atata Brahma Jigyasu, means inquire about the absolute truth. So who are we going to inquire from? If we don't inquire from those who are under the shelter of Srimati Radhika, who truly know Krishna, how will we realize Krishna to the full extent? We will have some limited understanding of Krishna. Viranti tattat vivras tattvam jnana vadmayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaneti shabdite. We may understand Brahman, Paramatma, even some feature of Bhagavan, but how will we understand Brajendranandan Sham Sundar Krishna? Achintya Guna Swarupam, he is inconceivable. But Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, when our eyes become anointed with the salve of love, that only at that time can we understand and have relation to Rajendranadan Shyam Krishna. And that salve of love only comes from Srimati Radhika and her followers. Without that, without her grace, without her shelter, it's not possible. So those who are only worshipping Vishnu without understanding and approaching his Shakti will be deprived of the real potential that they can achieve. That's why in the verse glorifying Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, Namom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamine, and Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinami. In both these glorification verses of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada and Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj, the question comes, who is this Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya? It becomes redundant. It's repetition. Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya. So who is this Vishnu? If it's just the same as Krishna, why are you repeating it? So then the Vaishnavas describe this Vishnupadaya. There was a conference of the disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and they discussed this. And they determined that this Vishnupadaya means, who is that true Vishnu? The true Vishnu is, if we say, what is the definition of Vishnu? Vishnu means Vyapnoti iti Vishnu. That which is omnipresent is Vishnu. So God is present everywhere. God's presence is everywhere. But what is higher than matter, or higher than physical presence, or even higher than one's spiritual presence, is the conscious presence. Where is the consciousness? And where is Vishnu's consciousness? It is in his beloved. Vishnu is name for Krishna. And where is his mind and heart? Always with his Shakti, Swarup Shakti. So real Vishnu is who is always present everywhere in the consciousness of God. Wherever God is present, wherever God's consciousness is present, with his devotees, with Srimati Radhika, then that is the real Vishnu. So when we take shelter of Srimati Radhika, then we can become Krishna Prastaya, dear to Krishna. Without that, it's not possible. So when we start this Shikshastakam, first we have to understand the importance of taking shelter of Srimati Radhika, and then through her we can serve and perform bhakti to Sri Krishna. So we'll continue in the next video. Hare Krishna.